The lesson from GSK and from Pilkington is that although they both manufacture, it's the brainwork and innovation that adds most value to what they do. So what's the logical conclusion of that? Companies that don't actually make anything physical at all. Nothing? How far can we push that business model? Can we really pay our way in the world by becoming a nation of boffins and geeks? Well, come to Cambridge, to the area outside the city known as Silicon Fen. 1,400 high-tech companies have sprung up in these business parks, employing over 40,000 people. It's an interesting feature that these more intellectual businesses like to be near each other, to be plugged in. They tend to cluster, just like the scientists in Glaxo Labs. One of the companies here has become the runaway success of the last decade. And what they do can be found inside virtually all the digital devices we take for granted. In here, mobile phone, right there, and somewhere here is a little piece of Britain. There we go. There it is, just under NEC. You can see it says ARM. It's a very successful company, one of our best actually, and remarkably few people have actually heard of it. Unlike Pilkington or GSK, ARM Holdings focuses entirely on stage one of the value chain. They don't make processors, they design them. It's pure innovation, and it's valued at over £7 billion. Tudor Brown is its president. Tudor, hello. Heaven
Nice to meet you. Heaven. Nice
to meet you.
Good to meet you too. I've heard a lot about you.
Well, I've heard a lot about you.
So come on through, let me show you some other technology here.
You wouldn't sort of know that this is one of Britain's most successful companies, would you? The most productive.
I don't know, how do you, if you go to any company?
It looks quite plain.
Well, there's no great buzzing machines or chemicals flying around. This is thinking and whatever.
Right. Wow, I like the artwork.
So those are just a couple of plots. Let's take you into an office here.
It's quite warm in here. That's obviously
Well, some of them like it warm.
The brain operates better at this temperature.
Clearly, some people wear hats even because they like their brain to be warm.
It may appear rather dull, but the designs being generated in this room are shaping the future of computing.
Some of the guys are actually hopefully doing some work.
ARM started in the early 80s, designing small but powerful chips for the British home computer market.
And actually, this chip here...
No touchscreen.
No. This chip here is the first ARM processor.
The chips were seen to have potential for small, portable products and drew the attention of a US computer company.
Along came Apple, actually, in 1990, wanting to create the Newton, the world's first PDA. So here we've got a Newton.
Goodness,
so this was why ARM, the company, was created. And now, you know, you could look at that and think, that's the iPhone. It's a bit bigger.
Hello.
It was a bit too slow, it was a bit too heavy, didn't fit in your pocket, but fundamentally that was the vision behind this product. But then what happened was, in the mid-90s, the mobile phone revolution started. And actually Nokia was the first company to adopt our technology.
And ARM power is in most of them, isn't it?
ARM is in pretty much every mobile phone, yeah.
And of course, as the phones become more sophisticated, they have more chips in.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's not as though...
If we go back to the Apple story, something like the iPhone or these smartphones have an awful lot of ARM technology in them.
You know, you've got chips in an iPhone without giving away your commercial secrets, which I'm sure you wouldn't do. I mean, what are Apple paying you for?
Well, remember, we don't make the chips.
No.
We license our designs to semiconductor companies who make the chips. And for that, we get a license fee. And then when they actually make the chips and sell them to companies like Apple or whoever, then they pay us a royalty. And we get a few cents off each chip. It's not huge.
No, but still, I mean, there are a lot of these around.
In the last year, 6 billion ARM chips have been made. You add all that up, it means the company is doing very well. Yeah.
And you don't, at any point, feel, it's sad that we don't make the chip. maybe we
Not at
should
all.
make the chip as well.
Not at all. We don't want to manufacture. If you go into the business of manufacturing, you have to build a factory that costs you $5 billion before you start. It's a hugely expensive game. We have no expertise in that. No, there are many other companies who are much, much better at that. We're damn good at what we do here, and that's what we want to keep doing. And Apple had the same problem.
It's right, of course, for the company to concentrate on the high-value work, and it's a huge contributor to the UK economy. But it does signal a problem with the intellectual property industry. Only the very cleverest can earn a living in it. We're not all as brainy as these guys.
Just come in here on the left, I think we'll see an office where there's actually some real hardware.
Oh. It raises the issue of how the rest of us contribute to the economy too. How big we need our unintellectual property industries to be. Ah, the playroom. The playroom.
Yes, it's playing in a way, but it's some semi-serious outcomes from the sort of thing we do. So this is some Lego that one of our guys here has created and built. It's a Rubik's Cube solver.
So to begin with, the phone is using its camera. You can see a live preview there pointing downwards to take an image of each of the faces of the cube, and it works out the solution. Actually, would you like to race it, Evan? Here's a cube that I scrambled just now.
I have a feeling your system will be
okay.
better than mine. Okay.
So on your marks, get set, go.
Well, I think it's going to win. The key is to think of them as cubes rather than as surfaces, I think, isn't it? Okay, he's won. Very nice, very nice.
So hopefully you'll remember how to fly this. I'm going to pop it down about here. There we go.
So we've got these ARM chips in so many different objects. You wouldn't... ARM has evolved from being at the centre of one of the most rapidly growing industries, mobile phones, to being partners of the computing world's giants. Up.
There we go.
Warren East is the chief executive of ARM Holdings. You are friends of, partners to, all the big ones, aren't you? Google, Apple, Microsoft, the three behemoths of American software, hardware culture. You're there with all of them.
Well, that's absolutely the philosophy of our business model. We enable and we don't pick winners. We believe in sharing a slice of a very big pie is a lot better than having the whole of a much smaller pie.
Come on, come back, come back. ARM's strength has been built around having a highly skilled and highly educated workforce. It's no coincidence that it's found